So my name is Ernie, and I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I grew up in a family that was a fifth-generation contractor developer. And as I grew up in that environment, you know, I felt there were several expectations on me that I would follow in the footsteps. I ended up getting my contractor's license and started in the construction industry. Did really well at the construction, really enjoyed it, loved it. And as time went on, I fell into this addiction where I was trying to find anything exterior to fill the inside hole that was missing in me. And I got hooked on crystal meth, which led into drinking and drugs and the sex and the food addiction and overworking and all those addictions that took me out of myself and made me feel better, but in the end just left me just hopeless and in despair. Until I got to a point where I found Christ and I got into recovery, and then I worked my recovery program forward. And that brought me in to discover myself and learning, and I've been on this journey over this past decade to where I've just been able to put those addictions down and work forward and look at what Christ has in store for me. And as I went through that journey, this whole new world opened up for me. You know, I got a daughter I adopted in my life. I've been through 3 marriages. My second wife had a daughter, and I adopted her when she was 2 years old. At 18 months, her dad died of cancer, and I came in and adopted her. And today, you know, she's in my life. She's 17 today. And going through that experience, you know, 4.5 years ago, I got full custody of her. And so here I am raising this girl, and you know, it just changed my life. And you know, it wasn't what my thoughts that my life would end up, sitting here divorced in no relationship and being a single parent. That's not what I ever dreamed of, but that's what I was dealt. Now, I've launched this new career with E5 coaching. I started about 3 years ago, back in 2006, and wasn't happy with what I was doing work-wise. And I was tied into the family business and was into that whole thing, but there was something missing. And once I discovered that, you know, I had a passion, I started doing some self-discovery, and I found I had a passion, and I was gifted. God has given me gifts, and that's what's led me to E5 coaching. And now it's been over a year since I got certified, and I've been building this company, and it's been very difficult and challenging. And one of the most difficult things or I can say this last 2 years, is I've had a lot of loss in my life. I've had my cousin of 38 years old pass away. I've had my best friend, my mentor who led me to Christ. I've lost him. And that's been about a year ago. And I've had to go through these storms and these struggles with addiction, with loss, with divorce, with, you know, single parenting, with you know, a family, a prominent family that I followed in the footsteps, and I'm down this path that I felt was chosen for me, but I just followed it. And you know, I've shifted off that path in the last 2 years, and I'm going a whole direction where I believe God has called me to go. And it's been very difficult and painful and scary at times. There's been a lot of fear, because here I am going down a path that I have no idea what's on the other side. And I'm following that path. And it's just, you know, the peace and contentment that I have in my life today compared to what I used to have, I can't even explain. I talk about joy and that feeling of awe. And that's how I feel. And I feel like I'm in the palm of God's hand way more than I've ever been. Now, I still have times where I feel, I get maybe those moments where I feel hopeless or despair and some of that, but they don't last long. They're short, and I get out of them. And what I found is the reason I get into those is my focus has been off Christ and God, and they've been focused on my adversary, the opposite of God. You know, before it was the finances. I built all these finances, and my God was money and finances, and it was about, you know, that was my self-worth. I based on how I felt, or my self-worth was because, you know, did I have this or did I have that? And today I know that that is not true. You know, I don't need all that to fill me. You know, all I need is God. And if I follow Him, happiness and joy and peace follow. So the goal for me is to just, you know what, love God, love His children, no matter what they do. And if I do that, He promised me that I will have just a fruitful life and very blessed life.